What's going on, everybody? Luke here from Mr. FBA UK, bringing you an absolutely awesome video. It's going to be quite lengthy, quite in-depth. It's all about Q4 and how to maximize your Q4. It's going to be like a mastermind or blueprint or roadmap or whatever you want to call it. My version of a roadmap for. We're going to go over people who are new. What do you need? People who are intermediate. What do you need? More advanced. What do you need? Because depending on your level, you don't need. You probably, when you're a bit more of a successful seller in terms of you do it full time or something. And your expenses, obviously, you're making more money and you have room for more software and stuff like that. So we're just going to go over what you do need at certain levels and what you don't need, because some things are just more of a luxury, because they might speed up what you do, but you don't need it. You don't need to pay for that service. So we're just going to go over all the things that I use as well, and some other things that you can use sort of besides what I use, because obviously what I use isn't the same as everyone else. So I'll also show you a couple of versions. I've got some brief notes. I don't really want to go over it, and I don't really like doing structured videos. They can get a bit boring. Let's just dive right into it, and yeah, see where this takes us. So we are going to start obviously with, I thought I'd start with Amazon. If you're not signed up, sign up, and you can sign in here. Has all the information, benefits of selling on Amazon, but I'm sure we already know this because that's why we're here. So to start with, I'm going to start with, what spreadsheets do you need in terms of, not talking about accounting and all that. I'm not going to go into certain things like finance, because that, there are many ways like a bank loan or credit cards, but I'm not going to go into that because that's not sort of yes, it's vital, but it's not what I'm talking. It's not going to be part of this video to say that. So we're going to talk about like spreadsheets or software I use or could use. There are different types of software, because there's some similar softwares out there. What I use, well, I'm going to tell you and show you what I use. So you literally can see what I'll be doing this Q4, what I'll be using this Q4. For stuff like purchases, I'll show you what I buy, like like you could do a prep center maybe, or you might do it from home. I'm just going to go into all the nitty gritty. So I'm going to start with something really quite boring and simple. I'm going to talk about my purchase spreadsheets. Okay. Oops. Hopefully you didn't see all that, but it doesn't matter. If you want to go back and pause it and see what I bought, knock yourself out. So this is basically a blank spreadsheet of what I use. Now, I actually have just recently changed my spreadsheet from a more complex spreadsheet, which is this one, to a more simplified spreadsheet, which is this one. Now, I'll show you what I used to have. So it used to be just, this is what I used to have the date. Also, I do feel that received, and I literally would just go why. It's just a good indicator to see what you've got and what you haven't got. But it also makes you realise how much stuff you got to come in or haven't got to come in. So if you've only got 2 items left to come in, everything's marked as Y. You might be like, oh wow, actually I haven't got much more stuff to come. I need to get sourcing. But if you find that you've got loads to come, then you might think, okay, it's not so much of a pressure, because with the Amazon you just need to get it in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Now, if you're only waiting on 2, that in could stop very quickly. You could get that in the next hour. So the guy turns up, and then you've got to think, crap, I've got to buy stuff, but it's going to take 2 or 3 days to get here. So you basically lost a couple of days. Now, yes, it's a couple of days, but in Q4, a couple of days is like 2 weeks worth of sales, or so each day is more valuable as you get further into Q4. So you really want to. For me, I actually use this as a good indicator to see how well I'm doing in sourcing, or maybe or not. Obviously, cash flow is important. If you've only got £2 to spend, fine, it's different. But I just like that, because even if you had £2, you can just buy less units and still use the same principle behind it. Obviously, you got the product, the ASIN in the store, the URL, the Amazon, buy for, sell for, quantity, FBA fees, VAT, and normally a calculation in here. I'll probably, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give these as links or whatever, like Google Documents links. I'll actually add like the details into here so you can actually see the automatic calculations. I literally just deleted it because it was from an old spreadsheet. I just deleted all the information. VAT due, so it just tells me what it's due. Then I get the profit per item after all that, and margin, total buy cost. So it shows me how much if I bought 10 units at £5 and so on. It tells me how much I spent. so I can actually see, like, okay, a good indicator with Amazon is if I spent 10 grand this month, let's hope I do 20 grand in sales next month. You know, really rule of thumb, because you normally buy something for 10 instead of 20. Now, not always, obviously, it's not always, but that's like a really loose version of what we do. Total profit, an order number. Now, I didn't really use the order number because if I need to find it, I'll find it on my emails and find the order, because I just go through. But I found that all of this information is great, and you can see as of now. So if I buy something now, I will record all this information, and I can actually see what's happening. And I can say, okay, well, out of all of today's purchases, they all sell at today's. How much have I made? And it's quite cool. Okay, how much have I spent today? Oh, I spent 1,000. Okay, that's what I wanted to spend. So on and so on. But it's very quickly changes all the time. You know, the prices on Amazon always change. So I started thinking to myself, I only use it. I used to use this information after I recorded all my day's purchases. I just have a quick look at what I spent, or for the week, and a quick look at what I've, the profit. But after that, it used to change, so I never used to look back at it. And I thought the amount of time it takes to actually input, and yes, a lot of it's automatic, but I've still got to put the buy, the sell, the quantities, and other things. I actually just thought, you know what, I'm not that worried. Like, once it's sold, I will figure it out then, basically. So I just simplified it to this. So you still got the received products, but basically I only wanted to know the quantity and the buy for, so that I can use the buy for price later when I know when I sold stuff, so check back and see how much profit I made. And the quantity doesn't even really need to be there, but it's just so that I know if I bought 20 at £1 and then another 20 at 150, when I figure out the profit, obviously I've got to make sure I don't use the pound for all of them. So that's basically the only reason I use quantity. But it just saved me time. And everyone will prefer different methods, and some people will like more detail, but it's just time saver. I'm just thinking of like just little things, because they all add up. Everything. This is the whole thing. All these softwares and that. A lot of them are just time savers. Some of them aren't, but a lot of them are. And I'll put links for this, and you can use it if you want. If you don't want to use it, you don't. I'll put a link for, like, I'll probably just neaten it up a bit, and a link for the whole thing, and you can just choose which one you want to use if you want to use it. But yeah, this is what I use at the moment. Really simple and easy, and then I can just go back over it and see what's going on as and when. So yeah, that is the first. That's spreadsheets, and I use QuickBooks for accounting. I'm not going to go into finance and that, as I said, but like the other side of it, when it sells, I have a little spreadsheet similar to this, but I just basically paste all the information in from the summary tab, and then you reference this for the difference. Basically, I just go see here what I bought it for. I use on Amazon, just go to the summary of the sale to see how much I've obviously got, and then I just do a calculation to find the difference, and then I take out some VAT, so that I can see the amount of VAT that's in that, and that's it. And just do it for every month, and then use that information as I want after. And with this video as well, I'm not going to do instruction. I'm going to start with this, start with this, start with this. I have a little structure that I've got, but it's more just going to flow as is. I've got some notes, so I'm going to cross them off as I go, so I don't forget anything. But okay, so after spreadsheets, you're thinking, well, what next? Okay, that's the basics, pretty much. Obviously, first you want to make sure you can sell on Amazon. Maybe you want to, it's not too early to even get ungated. No, it's not. Because what I found is that Q4 doesn't really start swinging through until about the 22nd of October. Depending on what day of the week that is this year, it may be a bit around that. But from one of my other videos where I showed you where my spike happened, where I went from about £700 in a day to £2,000 back to back, so I had £4 grand in sales in 2 days, and that was from the 22nd of October, and I think that was probably the Black Friday. I'm not sure. You get to look yourself, but so actually at the beginning of October, I didn't see a huge increase, and I showed you on that graph, and I did in my other videos. The sales increase didn't really happen until a little bit further in October. So really, it's actually in about two months, 22nd of October to 22nd of December, but it incorporates the 3 October, the end of October, all of November, and most of December. And I still find that October, November, December the sales grow each month as well. So November, even though it's got a full month of sales, it's not necessarily going to give you more in sales because there's more days, for example. It's very similar to December, but I do find December and November they're just crazy anyway. So, because if it's your first Q4, it's almost irrelevant of what you're doing because it's so much better than what you've been doing before. It's just like this flows. You do 10% of the work almost, and you get 100% outcome. So basically, for example, if I do 100% now, I'm getting 100%. So I'm grinding. I'm not doing as much as I can. Almost like you just do 10% work and you still get the same outcome. But so if you imagine if you don't do a 10%, but you do 100 still, like your normal day, obviously you're not going to be slacking. Then it's going to be crazy. And anyone that does it is for the first Q4. It's very, you just got to go with it because until you experience your first one, it's very difficult for people to tell you. I'm just going to try to help you. And I'm sure a lot of people use half the stuff I'm going to go over anyway. So you might want to get unsuspended anyway. We're going to start there. So I'm going to go on here. You basically not get unsuspended. What am I about? That's something I'll talk about in a minute. You can get ungated. Now it might take you a little bit of time to get ungated, but maybe only 2 weeks. Now Karen Summer, or Karen Hudson, I always call her Karen Summer because she used to be cool. Hudson has this website, and she has slowly been growing. She did get ungated first, and then went to get unsuspended and bookable BA, and stuff like that. And now she does Bible Pro and various other things. Hopefully this video doesn't play. And basically you can get ungated. So if you are only selling in toys and games, fine. I only sold in toys and games last year. Like 95% in the whole of Q4 was only toys and games, maybe even more, basically everything. Some things fell out of toys and games, but it was basically a toys and games style item. And I did, what was it, 85,000 sales in my first Q4 with just with toys. So if you don't get ungated and you just want to sell toys, fine, it's not an issue. But if you also want to get ungated because you want to maybe sell groceries and beauty, like beauty for example is going to be popular at Christmas, you want to spread across multiple areas, you could go ahead and get ungated in that. Yes, it does cost and it is a service, but it works. So I actually got ungated about a year and a half ago through her in a group that I was in, before I even really knew who she was, or I was quite new to everything, and everyone was helping each other get ungated, like in a group. And yeah, and basically you can see here there's like do-it-yourself courses, or there's like get them to do it for you. And you basically go to they tell you how to do it. They basically tell you to go to a wholesaler, buy this, that, and the other, with this, that, and the other quantities. Very specific in what you need to buy. Make sure certain things are on the invoice, for example, like you put the right details, blah 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 blah. And they basically either do it all for you, or you can follow a tutorial thing. But yeah, I would say if you're not ungated, definitely get ungated as soon as you can. If you want to wait until after Q4 because you haven't got enough money, you're like, oh, but it's too expensive, I want to save, that's fine. But I'd say with any profits you get, like, because what happens is in January, sales disappeared. It's non-existent. And actually, and I sold toys and games, and my sales like 10x the opposite way. So it went down 90% basically. It went down to like 90%. So instead of doing like 10 grand, I was doing like 1. I didn't do 10, but that's an example. Just because I was only selling in toys and I wasn't ungated in anything else. I couldn't sell groceries. And now me going into next Q1, I'm going to be selling 100% in groceries, I guess, some beauty, because groceries are all year round. They will increase over Christmas, but they're all year round. People still want loo rolls, for example, or nappies, you know? It's not really seasonal at all. And that's what I'm actually great, like, even though I got ungated almost by accident because people were just doing it in a group and I thought, yeah, I'll just do it as well, why not? It's like one of the best decisions by accident. And actually, until you do it, you don't realise. And then once you start getting into it and finding stuff that you can sell, the competition is like just ridiculously much better. It's just ridiculous. It's like 5 sellers, 4 sellers on a good item, and you can just buy, you know, 6, and then there's another item, 3, 4, 5, you know. So yeah, that's just my feeling. But you don't have to do it before Q4, of course. It depends on your level. But yeah, and as we do this, what I'm going to actually do, just for a bit of fun, is we're going to create a little expenses sheet to see what it could cost for these services. So obviously, if you want to do it over a month, just got some snaps to join me in this video. Some lovely Gray's barbecue crunch. We're going to just do the expenses sheet. So here we can go expenses. Probably just do that. Start with that. And basically, we're going to see how much. So obviously, that is a one-off cost that you don't need to do. So I'm not going to record it anywhere. Just if you are interested in that direction, you can go ahead here and look. Now, something I actually would say to get is something called suspension protection. Now, I get it as part of my bookable VA. It's part of the package. Can't see again. And basically, it will if you come across any issues, they will help you get unsuspended. And basically, it's very similar to what I just showed you before. Still, Karen's done this as well. This is from her. You'll see it's very, very similar. They will basically tell you how to reply to Amazon, what to put in your message. You'll send them details and stuff. This is Karen. You'll send them details, and basically, lots of people have got unsuspended because of the service, where they may have, you know, if they just replied off their own back, the content of what they probably would have replied would have been wrong, and they wouldn't have. And you can't keep like replying to Amazon to you know get unsuspended. Once you've done one appeal, I guess one reply, that counts as your appeal, and that's it. So you can see here, it's literally just it's in the UK and the US. So you can see the cost, £20 and a bit. So basically it's got plus VAT, but obviously £20. If you VAT registered, of course, it's £19.95. And yeah, it's basically just you can go over it yourself. I'll put links for all of this in this video, so this description will be quite long with just links for all of these things. So I don't think you've got to quickly remember the website and stuff. I'll put the links in I think like each stage of this video, so you'll just see each thing I talk about as a topic. But yeah, because the last thing you want in Q4 is to get suspended, because every day is just like gold. If you can cut that in half, this would have paid for itself, you know. And I was just do the monthly subscription. You can do the immediate help, but why? You know, like with my accountant, I always just say invoice me monthly, which then accumulates, builds up, and then I don't have to pay any massive one-off fees of like 800 quid for the HMRC stuff. It's just better to just to do little bits. So we're going to go ahead and just add 90. We just add it 1995. This is just going to be like, do you need it or do you not? And I would say you don't need it. Well, I'm going to say you do because of the price. It's that plus VAT. So, and I hope it actually is this, because if not, I basically have studied accounting and stuff, but my maths is about -1 out of a million. Just because I can't, well, I just don't enjoy it. Personally, it's just something I used to have to do. I used to think you have to do it. I used to have to do it just to get through life. Like, I've got to do qualifications, I've got to do this. I did more and more qualifications, passed them all, and I didn't really, even though I didn't like them. And and I just forget about it next day. So I've done all of I've got qualifications for like this, that, and the other, bachelor's degree in this, and like AAT and stuff for my finance, but I don't remember a thing. Just did it to pass because they told me to, and then that didn't really help, did it? Anyway, back to business. So we're going to have that. That's going to be in pounds. So we're just going to go like this. Oh, if I can't find it quick enough, here we go. And we're going to see it like, when we look at the end price, something to spell out, and let's just say enter or more advanced. Like so. Cool. I would say get it, just because it's so little in cost that it's, even for a beginner, the value is more than the cost. You get what I mean? Now some of the other services are more to time. This is the whole thing. This is like the gem. Like this can, without having a crown jewel stolen and someone giving it back to you, essentially. And the value far outweighs the cost. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, let's have a look what we've got here. Let's just cross this. So you've got suspension. So you know a little bit more, not so anxious and stuff like that, because a lot of people get anxious there. They're putting the money into Amazon and they don't know what's going to happen because they can do anything. So this is just another little buffer to help. So let's see, what else have I got on here? So it might be interesting to know, okay, what ranks are things? Like, how do I know what to sell? What ranks are good at Christmas? Well, I say that still stick within the 120,000 for toys and games, 120,000. 80,000 and below is probably what I normally do. I used to go to like 170,000, but I don't really use rank, I use keeper. Because some 120,000, 150,000 ranks, they might only have 2 sellers and sell 4 or 6 a month, which is not many. And because the sellers are so low and the profit on the art might be so high as well, the rank doesn't justify what it actually is. It's just giving you a false positive, or whatever you want to call it, because there's like maybe 1 or 2 sellers. So you're going to get 50% of the buy box. There's 6 sales, at least 3 on 50-50 split. Could be more, could be less, depending on when the buy box is presented to you. But the profit could be amazing. And you just need, like, if you find 30 items like that, and then Q4 comes around, you'll be tripling that before so there's little gems like that. But so in ranking it's quite hard, but I'd say like just stay below 120. You can go, if keeper says it's better, that's fine. Yes, the ranking, you say, oh, but what, I can go higher in rankings because it sells more. Yeah, but all the rankings are still sort of the same. If this item's selling 5 at rank, okay, this item's selling 5 at rank 1, and this item's selling 3 at rank 2. Yeah, in toys. And that's not enough. This is an example. Then when Christmas comes along, product number 1, instead of selling 5, it's now selling 20. But product number 2, or rank 2, is now not selling 3, it's selling like 12. So they all go up pretty much. The rank won't be changing because of everything will be doing more volume. So it look the same in terms of rankings and stuff for products. If you get me, so there's no like, oh my god, but I can get like I can go up to 250,000. Not really, because it's still going to be, there'll be more sales in those items, but the rankings won't really change. So if you're not going to do it, I don't know, you sort of get what I'm trying to say. I don't want to ramble on too much about each individual thing because I'll be here all night. So a good thing you might want to do is look, what brands can I sell at Christmas? Because I got more money to inject. It's Christmas. I've got extra capital. I have to go buy. But you want to be careful because there's actually a website called the Seller Guys. I think it's called, or Seller Guys. I get confused. And basically, yes, maybe. So you have to be careful with this because there's US data more than there is UK data. Basically, there's a list of brands not to sell. But be careful because it's actually for the US market. So we're going to look here and see if we can find it. Here we go. So you can now go in here and basically see what rankings are in the top 1%, top 3. Now I'll be going over like BuyBot Pro and FBA multi-tool, and they actually have like a built-in function that will tell you this if it's in the top 1. But I think it's just good just to look at, get a feel for it. Just check the date, 2018. To make sure it's not. And you can just see here toys and games, toy stores, top 1% 23, top 3 80, yeah. And you can get just a gist for it. And you can look at the other marketplaces as well, Germany and all that, and you can get a good feel. There's also let's just see if that works. Yeah, here we go. So this is just showing you what not to sell in brands or be careful of selling. But what you'll find is that Amazon allow you to sell products that you're not actually allowed to sell. And you might think, well, what the hell's that about? But if I put a product, if I'm a brand, two examples. If I'm a brand and I sell products on Amazon, and then someone else comes on and goes, oh, I bought that from a shop in the sales, I'm going to sell it. And I'd be like, sod that. I want the sales because I'm the brand. I don't want this guy getting the sales. So I report you to Amazon saying I'm the brand. I haven't said they can sell it, and they're selling my items, so it's unauthorized. So I own it. They'll give you like an IP infringement or a policy warning. But Amazon don't know. There's no, that company wouldn't have filed paperwork to say let me just sell it myself. It's only when you go to sell it that Amazon will be notified. So it's like you can sell it until so that's why Amazon are allowing you to sell things. And there's so many items like that. So that's why looking at these brands, and sometimes I even go over these every so often and refresh myself of what brands to sell and what not. So actually I was selling an Anastasia makeup kit, and you can see here issues, some risk or restrictions. So there's that one. Some restrictions, no legal reporting. Now, it was a third-party company that contacted me saying that the original company has done a scan and seen that I'm selling their items. Can I provide them with proof that it's legitimate? Now, I did, and I deleted the product anyway. I deleted the listing and closed the product or whatever. Anyway, because I'd rather just not sell it if it's going to cause an issue. But I sent it off, and it'd probably be fine because I just wanted to check. But there's just little things, and you want to see here like Apple. Like I can sell Apple products, but I'm never going to sell Apple products. I can sell Samsung. I can sell Rolex. The thing is, I wouldn't even want to sell Rolex because I'm a bit. It's like, do I need to sell it? No. Therefore, I'm going to stay away from it. That's sort of how I see it. If I can, do I need to sell that to make a living? No. So if it's a bit risky, I'd rather just ignore it. But these are American. So Babyliss, I used to sell loads. It says legal action or policy warning. Well, I used to sell. I don't anymore. I used to sell loads. If you actually look here, you'll see Disney and Frozen. Disney. Here we are. Well, it does actually state USA, but some legals, Disney Frozen, Disney, some restriction. Now there isn't. It's fine in England, UK, in Europe. So you have to take this with a pinch of salt almost. But I normally look at more beauty sort of side of things. So the beauty, I always just go over it and have a look. And if I notice something like, oh, I'm selling a lot of that, just be in the back of my mind, and maybe I'll reduce down what I'm selling of that. Because if you only sell 1 or 2 items, it's not massive. But if you've got a big chunk of what you're doing in something, you might think, oh no, and just look through it. And there's loads in it, but it doesn't. Even though you think, oh my god, that's everything, I'm doomed. It's not. Like that's half of those I've never even heard of before. So that's a good thing just to keep, so that when you're sourcing, because there's so many good deals out there, you're like, oh my god, you're just buying everything. But actually, you want to be careful not to go be too sucked into it and start buying everything left, right, and centre. And you can make £1 million profit in 3 months, and you're just buying all these random things, and actually you find out that half of them, and you wouldn't have bought them anyway before, because you would have been more structured in what you're doing. But because it's Q4, you just go, crazy. Before you know it, you're getting these policy warnings or something from a brand just because it was because it was so good. The offers are going to be so good that you're just buying everything. So you just want to be careful. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to think what to cover next. So next thing you might want to do is get a repricer. Now I use BQL. This is me. You can use Repricer Express as well. So there's BQL and there's Repricer Express. They both do the same thing. They automate your Amazon it's like basically your pricing on your products, your price, minimum, maximum. And I actually didn't get BQL until like halfway through this year, maybe like February or March, like a year and a bit after I even started Amazon. And I used to use just the Amazon's free one, and that's fine. But the problem is that if you go down to your minimum on Amazon's repricer, because obviously people are going down as well, so eventually it goes down to your min. It's always your price will always stick at the min. It doesn't refresh that price. But if you think prices change all the time, but if the buy box is getting dragged down and then no one's refreshing it back to its sort of you normally know a product has like a maximum price and a minimum price. And over about 3 months, it goes from like say 15 quid to 18.50, then back to 15, then maybe occasionally it's at 19.99, then back to 14.99 mainly, and then and then it goes, it's within a range. And if you keep refreshing that every night, which is what I do, and everybody else refreshes their price to 19.99, for example, then as the price drops down during the day, with everyone else selling, obviously everybody's reprice is working as well in the background. You might make, if someone goes on really early at 7 in the morning, makes a purchase, you might actually make, and as your price is dropping, you might get a sale for 17.99, 18.99 before the price is actually over the day gone down to what it will sort of everyone else, like the average. So you actually sell things for different prices. With Amazon, once it goes to that bottom, your price will always stick at that. So if anyone buys it off you, it would just be that cheapest price. It would just be stuck at that little bit. And over time, and also it's not just that, they have it shows you what you've sold, how many units. I use it as well to replenish. And it gives you it in order. It gives you a list of all of your products that you've entered into Amazon in the order that you. So if I went and basically sent a shipment in today, all the stuff at the top is the new stuff I've entered. And once it books in, it will update and show me the quantities. I'll then type in my minimum and maximum and the rule. The rule is just a rule. It's like at 4 o'clock in the morning, repricer, then we'll put the price of that item to my max price, which, as we said, let's say it's 19.99. During the day, it goes down to 14.99, which is my minimum. It refreshes again. Next day is 19.99, and so on and so on and so on, and every item. And also, as I'm selling every day on Amazon, I can go down the list and see where the unit quantities of each product that I've recently sent in. If I see 0, then I know that, well, okay, that must have sold out, so I'll replenish that if I can. And if there's only 1 or 2, I might buy some more. And that way I can easily just browse my inventory all the way down. So I normally keep it, I'll delete all the old stuff, so I always know it's very, very structured in the way it is, and I can use that to even and it gives you even other things like you've done 47 of these a day, a month, and I can use that and say, well, how many have I got in stock? 6. Well, if I'm selling 40 something a month, I probably should buy some more, and you can use it for that sort of thing. And the Repricer Express would be exactly the same overall. And this is what's the pricing on this? So you can use it for all different marketplaces, like Europe. And on Europe, I do use it, and I probably will use it over Q4 a bit more. Oh, that one isn't it? And I will, it's the same thing. You can start a free trial. You can watch the demo. It's $25 a month. I mean, what's that? 19.99. We're going to go here. We're going to put 19.99. Okay. I mean, a reprice is like a definite. It is a definite. Because of what I've just told you, and when Christmas comes and the sales are pumping, people are buying things before work, after work, at lunch, on their break, as they get to work. You'll be making at least that back in profit because of that reprice, where you go back to the max price. So to make 19.99 over a month from that strategy I've just told you, it's only a couple of quid a week. You know, like £4.70 a week or something that you're going to make on all your items. So it's really, really important. So what else should we do? Now I'm not going to go over the 3 ways to source. You can do copy and paste method. You can go over your replenishable lists and just pick out all of the replenishable items and put them into a separate replenishable spreadsheet and just use that. You know, these things are things you start thinking about the longer you do Amazon. You know, how can I retain some of those purchases, or retain a bit more information, or how can I speed up getting this and that, and that's what, you know, this is something you come across. So the next thing I want to talk about is extensions. So you might be thinking, okay, I want some help purchasing them because it's going to be so good at Christmas. I don't want to just buy the wrong stuff because the offers are everywhere. What do I buy? I want some help. So you've got 2 options. And then, now I'm not sure if they've both got their own websites, but have a quick look. Yeah. Now I've used both, and actually I almost rotate between them because they both do. For me, they feel different. Ultimately, they give the same details. They just feel different. Like, I actually feel that BuyBot Pro is tailored slightly more for the beginners, and intermediates, and also maybe the people that are looking for a bit more analytics, so a little bit more analysis, numbers and stuff, because it provides you a lot of data here. You can see with FBA multi-tool, there's just less data, but it's not bad because I actually sometimes like less data because it's faster and easier, and also I don't have to get stuck looking through all the information. So and as the new updates are rolled out on each, I sort of check them back and check them both. Now I've not used this exports tool here, so I can't comment on that, but with this it sort of has an indicator here, and it gives you all your data here. And let's say if you're like a reasonable beginner, you know, BuyBot Pro is probably more tailored for you because it actually gives you this sort of score here, which can help with your judgment. And FBA multi-tool has the same sort of structure. Tells you if things are hazmat, tells you the European prices, and it has a lot of other little bits here. But you can go ahead and read through. I would say just read through both of them yourself, and even try them out if they have like a free trial or something, and just see how it is. And you can see like there's always updates for both of them that just get rolled out as and when over time. But yeah, each one is similar but also different. So just check them out yourself. Decide which one feels better for you, or maybe you just want certain information, or you don't want certain information, and one will be better than the other. But I'd say definitely get one of these, and they're basically about the same price. They're about $24.99, I believe. The price for this somewhere $24.95 and $19.99. So I guess the 2 users thing is probably if you have a VA working for you in the background. That's just meet in the middle. Let's just say it's $22.99, and you can compare what they do if you really want. But if you basically had a VA, they could obviously install it on their Chrome, and you could have it on yours. So we're going to go here and just put in the $22.99. Now you might think, oh, but this is starting to build up now. I don't want to spend, you know, it's already 67 quid. Yes, but I'd say it's not vital, but it's it's not a vital piece of information because you can do it all for free. You can just go onto your Amazon app and scan this and scan that and see if you can sell it. But the vital part about this for me on both is that you click the analyze. It has eligibility, yes, hazmat, no. On here, it has hazmat now and can you sell it? Same thing. It just looks slightly different on this one. Sort of going a bit funny. Here we are. So can I list this? Yes. And you click the check hazmat, and it has like no hazmat restricted in there. That's the best part, because it saves so much time. And for me, that like saves minutes and minutes per item I'm trying to source. Now these are a minute, but if you're buying like 40 things a day, different like items, you know, that's like 40 minutes on the day, just for that could be every day, for $22.99, you know. So I do. I'll put it as Chrome extension, and I'd say if you haven't already, the one thing you do need is Keeper. Now Keeper, is a free Chrome extension. If you could, basically, I'd say Master Keeper. Watch YouTube videos of how to read it, because this is gonna, you know, if you just type in Keeper Chrome extension, it has to be on Google Chrome. Download it, and it will pop up within Amazon to show you data like this. And then you can choose sales rank here, new third-party FBA there, and buy box. And you can just read it and see what's going on. It's great, it's free, and it's, yeah, nothing else I can go on about that. It's exactly what you want. And it complements the BuyBot Pro and the FBA multi-tool, because in conjunction with all that, you shouldn't be buying the wrong products, is the answer. So let's just get some of this, and all the links and to the website and all that would be in the description, as I said, but just to remind you. Now I'm going to show you what products I actually buy, in terms of what if you want to prep yourself at home. What size boxes do you go for? What labels do you buy? How much are you spending on labels? Now I buy bubble wrap from eBay and boxes from eBay. So I'll show you that. So Amazon's good for some things, and eBay is good for others. So let's just jump on. Purchase history. I don't really know what's on here. Nearly bought a mystery box because I wanted to play with it, just see how cool it was. Probably going to be a waste of money, but I didn't buy it in the end. But so you can see here, this is what I normally buy. Now it's probably more expensive for the size than some people would want to pay. But for me, the reason I like it, one, it's double walled. That's what you definitely want with Amazon, because it's going to go. Products are going from the retailer to you. Then you're sorting them out, putting it in another box. It's going to Amazon's fulfillment center. Then from Amazon's fulfillment center, it's getting sent out. So that's 3 times it's getting sent out before the customer sees it. Your items have got to survive 3 transportations, and if they're not, you know, and I know what UPS are like even, you know, they chuck them left, right, and center. And actually, little tip: the labels on the boxes, don't put it on the top of your box. Put it on the side of your box, because when they put it on the shelves, they tip the labels so they're facing them, or basically so they're not facing upwards, they're facing sideways, because the racking that they put it in their vans is like slightly higher than them, so it's like sort of waist height. So they want to see the actual barcode on the side of the box, so it's facing out towards the sort of aisle or the walkway. So they actually move. So basically, instead of you think, yeah, I'm going to leave my boxes need to stay this way, they actually just flip it around. So like all your items are going to be moved. If you put all the heavy stuff at the bottom and all the light stuff at the top, now you've got like half heavy from top to bottom and half light top to bottom. You know what I'm trying to say? But even though that happens, these have never. I don't get much distributor damage. I literally get like 1 or 2 every couple of shipments, and that's it. And it's probably not even distributor damage. It's probably just a little bit like box is just a little bit funny. Then want to send it in or something. But yeah, this is the one I get. And some people get like 60 inch by 60 inch. And I did play with like an 18 by 26 by 30 or something, so it was like a rectangle. But because it's rectangle, its structural integrity, or its strength, isn't evenly distributed around the box. It's actually weighted in the corners, but the center is weak. Yeah, so it's like, you know, a piece of cardboard. You get a really long piece of cardboard, and you basically just hold the two ends and you sort of try to push it down. The middle just crinkles, and so sort of, there's no strength in the middle. With these, because it's literally a cube, each side supports its own, the other side, and there's no weakness point, and that's the reason I buy it. Because I bought the others and they used to get distributed damage, and that means if they're rectangle, they're like, which way does it go and stuff. These are just, you know, it's almost like it's just better. And I've always used these, unless, yes, other people might use other things, but that's what I do. And I bought my bubble wrap from here as well. I think I just bought it was like £8 for like 2. What is this thing? Oh, and tape. So you can get like loads of this, like loads of tape. I've already got like, how many have I got here? I've got like 12 plus rolls, maybe 18 rolls for like this much. And yeah, you can get out like pound strips. It's probably about the same. It works out like 70 something p. You can probably find it cheaper, like 50p somewhere. But because I could get it delivered to my house for 12, so 70p a roll. And this one, £16. But I got 2 of these, and this came in a massive box, like far bigger than I thought, and it was only £8 for like a big one of these, and that would do like a month's. I'd just do more than a month. That'd like kind of months for most people, depending on the quantity of your glass and stuff. And then for Amazon, let's go on my account. Let's go on my orders, and I have no idea what's going to pop up here. So I get these. I just get the double-sided for the shipping labels, $5.75. I normally buy more than one in a batch, because I believe if you buy more than one, then you pay one lot of shipping. If you get what I'm trying to say? Because it's the same company, so they charge you once, but you get 2 to save some money. And I get these poly bags. I bought 1,000 of these. I'm going to do poly bags like nothing up. And basically, yeah. It's got 4 different sizes, small all the way to. There's not my largest, because the largest one I have to get from somewhere separate because it's really large. But these are, most things will go in here. Anything stupid size, you're going to have to go and look separately. A couple of books. Where is the other one? Oh, it's not. And it's this one. So you can see here. This is the labels, and this is. I'll put some links for these in it as well anyway. And I love the poly bags and stuff. And then you can get stuff like Goo Gone, or like, what am I using? I use 151 sticker remover. Literally that. That one, well, whichever one you want. I don't use this little thing, but that, you just dab it on a sticker, leave it for 5 minutes, and then it just peels off, and there's no, you don't rip anything. It doesn't, like, you don't leave those dirt, like weird, like sticky mark things. It's a bit annoying, but it comes up properly basically. And that's what I use for my prep. And nothing else. I literally just tape. I get some sellotape from the shop. That's basically the only other thing. I think that's everything. Not for the video, of course, but yeah. Okay, right, we're getting there. We are getting there. Oh, and the printer that I actually use, that's what I was going to show. Let's see if we can do this. Basically, I have a Samsung. I bought it for like £50, and it's like 2 years old now. It's actually starting to get a bit old. It's starting to overheat a bit too much. But yeah, like the ink cartridges every 4 or 5 months. It's this thing. Ink cartridge is like cheap. It's like 15 quid. It's a laser. Does the job. And actually, this is a bit pricey. You could probably. The thing is, now you've got keeping stuff, you can actually figure out like how much you can probably pay for it. I mean, this is $39.99 at some time in the year. Just hold out. Do the opposite of what you would do. Instead of holding out for high to sell at a higher price, you hold out for a lower price. Yeah, so that's what I get. And then the ink, I just type in that printer ink cartridge, you know, it comes right up. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at is like, you want to try to optimize your cashback for Q4. So what I'm going to do here is go to something I love, and that not everybody likes it, or not everyone seems to use it, which I always think is bizarre. Yeah, it's called Complete Savings. Now, in Q4, you'll be getting your money back so much faster. It will look like you're making so much money compared to what you normally do, but it's that same money going in and out just faster. So you're getting £1,000 here, £1,000 every day, every 2 days, every day you're getting thousands. You think, where's all this money coming from? I only had £4 grand, but it's just going in and out so fast that you got to keep doing. You got to keep buying, otherwise your inventory just disappears. And like, you know, if you left it for 5 days, your inventory would be 1,000, and it would be like 200 units left, completely gone. So you have to constantly feed it. And a good thing about that is that you're buying a lot because you're getting it back so much faster. So let me log in. Yes, that's my email. Someone wants to take it and start sending me junk. You can log in. Now that's the SEMA dashboard here. Every month, so I've earned that. Every month you can earn up to £250 cash back at 10%. 10% you get. So I mean, literally. Oh, I've got another payment coming. Awesome. What's the date today? Nice. 40 quid. So yeah, basically, view more. You can see these payments. Okay, that's in a month. What's that? Let's just do it roughly. Okay, it's only 180 quid in a month, but I got 180 quid for free. Now, you know, actually in Q4 you can definitely get that max to. I mean, this is only at the moment. I must have not bought anything for. There must be a gap there. There was there. Don't know what happened there. It doesn't support every website, so it depends. If you're doing loads through like Superdrug, it supports Superdrug. If you happen to do it through another website that they don't support, then that's probably where it sort of fluctuates. But you can see here Argos, eBay, like all the main ones. Like I don't know, just go in, just search it up here, and you can get 10%. And if you even get suspended, or like not suspended, because that means you get like blocked because they say this is. Basically, you can't use it for business use, but there's no way. It doesn't really matter. You just don't go crazy and spend over £1,000, because I spent over £1,000 at some point and they blocked my account, and I just started a new account, different email, and just put a different debit card on it, and that was it. Just carrying on. So like, you can't be careful, but if you do, you can always just go back to it. You can use top cashback, but you get like. It takes you months. This clears in weeks. So if I do buy something now, I'll have it in 2 to 4 weeks in my bank, 10% of it. So if I'm spending 400 or 500 quid, I know I'm getting 50 quid cash back in a couple of weeks, you know, and it's just like on one purchase. And you in Q4 you can get 250 quid a month. That's 750 quid. That's basically 750 quid profit for nothing. Just by clicking on this website and typing in Argos before you buy anything. And there wasn't really any links for this as such, because I think there is. Well, you can probably log in and go here, customer services. I'll leave that email, but I think you can sign up that way. It's not like you can just go onto it and log in and sign up that way. You have to. When you buy things from like Argos, it prompts you out. It's a little message at the bottom of the screen. It says, "Click here and you can gain cash back at £16.88." You normally have to click that and it takes you through. Can't just go and do it. But yeah, anyway, so I was going to talk about prep centers. The problem is I run a little sort of, I have a prep center myself. Nothing crazy huge or anything, and it's all done through that. I put someone that works and does some bits on the side and sort of helps me out. Basically doing the prep, who I just hire. And yeah, do it that way. So I have used prep centers in the past just to try them out and stuff, but I haven't done it for so long. I'm not going to recommend any. You'd have to do your own research for that. I know there's like Easy Prep UK is the first thing that comes to my head. That I know that's sort of open for business, is cool, because a lot of them open the door for people, then they close the doors because they've got full capacity and they sort of loop around. So Easy Prep UK. Let's have a look. You can come here, see how it's going, read the details here, and get started. If you really want pricing, you don't have to. Prep yourself. It's what to me, prepping myself. Yeah, it might be a bit annoying, but you need to learn the ropes. Like, you can't become a master at something without doing everything. You can't become a master by skipping 3/4 of it and doing the end. You know. And I'd say even maybe do both. Do a prep centre and do it yourself over Christmas, because prep centres do get busy over Christmas, and you've got to remember that. It might affect your sales in terms of not getting things in and out as fast as you want. That's why over Q4 I would, for me, I'm going to do it definitely myself, for speed, because I know I know that me doing it is going to be far more enthusiasm and determination than someone that's working, you know, is doing it for minimum wage or something. That's just my opinion, but some people can't do it themselves, and some people maybe want to mix, so you can do that. But I didn't want to go into preps too much because I haven't really used it too much. So let's talk about, yeah. We're going to now talk about what services I use for sourcing. Products. Now, replenishables for me is huge. So don't overlook it. Everything you've ever bought, go over. And I know it might take you a year. Like, I even go over stuff that I bought a year ago and use that data. And I know you might not have done it for a year, but I also just look at, like, just go over every item and see if it's there, and then I can sort of build up a picture of what seems to be going back on sale every couple of months or every month, and you can put it into a separate tab, which is your replenishable list, and build it up over time. And you'll be surprised that before you know it, you almost can rely on your replenishables push comes to shove if you can't find deals. So if you can't find any deals, you just go back to them all the time, and that keeps you at that base level. So, like, for example, if you're doing 15k a month, and that's your called tick over value. So it's getting you enough money to do this, that, and the other, but it's nothing crazy. But you can't find deals. All these replenishables should just bring you to that tick over level. So don't overestimate them. But I use, and I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh my God, you use it? I can't find any deals on it, FBA Wizard." Now the reason I have that other video, which is 10 ways to source profitable products on Amazon, and I use all 10 methods. This is just one of 10, probably more now. I've actually started thinking of more. I forgot what they were now, but there's another one that I thought of the other day. And it's just extra. Even if I find one deal a day or 2 deals a day, you know, and I literally, if you look at the retailers I'm searching, I just do very generic searches. You can see here, I don't know if I'm going to have any come up, but I only want to find a handful of, this is if I find a handful from this, a handful from another way, a handful from another way, a handful, and before you know it, you've got 30 leads in your day. And it's just, you know, the more avenues you can do. But some people go, "Oh, I can't find anything." But, you know, for me, I'm really loose on the parameters, because you can find ROIs at 18%, and you're making £9 profit. Now you're thinking, well, what? You know, just because it's at a low ROI doesn't mean it's necessarily bad, because you might still be able to do 100 sales a month at £10 profit. This means that the buy price is a bit higher. Minimum profit. The reason I do that is just there's so many products that you can make 50% profit, but the profit isn't a lot. I don't take anything less than £1 normally. I do occasionally, but like I try not to. When I'm looking at the buying, it's just more effort to buy it, only making 50p. Because you've got to make a lot of effort, you've got to prep it, you've got to input it onto a spreadsheet, but you're only making 50p. It almost becomes like not worth it in time that you're using. But yeah, like Superdrug, all the standard ones. Sometimes I find nothing, but it's just an added extra to help me find things. The next thing I use, right, these are all paid services, so we're going to add it in here actually, FBA Wizard. we're not going to have expert and beginner because it's just annoying. We're just going to have things to use. Now, Chrome extension, what was the other thing? So, like, obviously your Amazon prep is unknown, you know. That's up to you. Like, if you want to prep it yourself, if you want to do it in your evenings, fine. I'm going to stick it 0, just for the. I think it's like £80 a month FBA, so it's not cheap. So, do you need it? You need something. Now, another thing I also use is Bookable VA. May ask. It's basically a sourcing sheet that is provided to you on a daily basis. You just log in, and it looks like this. Now, I've gone right back to May here, so not to corrupt anything or give people free leads from more recent. And this is literally what it looks like. So each day you would log on. There's different sheets. So this one is shared with 20 people, something like that. But actually, like there are ones that aren't shared with as many and stuff like that, depending on what you want to pay for. As far as I'm aware, because I haven't. Is it this bookable.va.com? Because I haven't actually looked. I got in on this when it first opened. You can go on the website, it's bookable.va.com. It shows you everything that you've done. Here we go. I think it's been changed now. There used to be different options. Okay, fine. It's just one, which is this. So yes, it is £99 a month, but you're guaranteed to get something like this. So instead of going through FBA Wizard every day at the end of the night, not only having to create your scans, but then go through them, you get this. And yes, there are different categories. So if you can only sell in one category, or pretty much one category, some of them are not going to be useful, if you get what I'm trying to say. The grocery, for example, beauty. You will see that there's rank, there's details. It says if it's basically the buy and the sell, it has details like profits, ROIs, so on and so on and so on. All the details, pretty much like the spreadsheet I showed you earlier, showing you what, you know. And all you would do is you just go through the website there and that website there. And then you can use BuyBot Pro or FBA Multitool to see what the profit is and that sort of thing. And yeah, buy it. So this is, it doesn't, a lot of people have I've seen comments and stuff to do with sourcing. They're saying, oh, but there hasn't been anything there, or why aren't they really good? As in, why aren't they like amazing leads? Why some days there's not much there? It's like it's quite like 30%. You know, it's 30% like ROIs. Why isn't there better? I didn't buy anything from it today. You got to remember, like all these leads are like from these websites that are for. There's thousands of people online arbitraging. Thousands. Everybody, you know, everyone's pretty much got access to all of them. Like, once you've just done it for a year or so, you pretty much know how to find every deal out there. And if it's there, it's getting bought, and therefore it's never going to be amazing. You're not going to find 100% ROIs or anything stupid. And you got to be, you know, you got to be realistic in not expecting like these are going to be all amazing leads, every single one. Every day I'm going to get 10. Yes, for me, I'm just adding this as a complement to the whole picture. You know, if just like a person who, you know, if he's got a smart haircut, well then if he's scruffy everywhere else, it's point. You know, if he then has a nice, you know, he's well groomed, then he's got a nice shirt. These are all complementing each other. And once you've built up the whole picture, you have many things, and they all complement each other. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I may only pick 2 or 3 of these a day to buy, not every single one, or I might even pick one. I might not pick any. It just depends if I need it, because I obviously know where. So I look at, you know, I'd look at it like, okay, which one's the biggest percentages? There's £7 there, £9 there, £8 there. Check them. Do I think they're, you know, you got to be do due diligence. I can't even say the word. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. On some of the items, like some of the beauty items, because you've got to be careful that you can sell them, because like I said before, Amazon say you can sell it, but can you sell it? Because if there's only like 1 or 2 sellers on the item, and it looks too good to be true, the profit's too good, there's loads of sales, just be careful. These are the sort of products that you've got to be careful on. Don't just because it's on here, don't think, yeah, I'm going to go with anything. And I'd say I'd have sheets, because for me, I'll do the replenishables because they're very easy. Okay, then I'm like, okay, I got whatever. I want to spend another grand today on stock. Let's have a look at the end of the day. Let's have a look at bookable VA. So I go through. I've got 2 sheets, so I go through my 2 sheets. I pick 30 quid on that one, 40, 50 pound. Great. It's only 80 pounds, but it's still 80 pounds. Again, this is almost like a replenishable sheet as well. You can go over these. I can go back to May and go through every single one of these and see what's going on. The prices could have changed. I could be making more profit now. You got to remember, like, it's almost like its own replenishable sheet on top. So you've got 2 for 1. If you get what I'm trying to say, but people might not think that. Just forget about it. But you got to be creative. And you can copy it. Once you've got it, you can just copy all that data and put it in your own spreadsheet, and then it's yours. And just check back like you would your own. But for example, I buy. Sometimes I go a couple of days without buying, and then sometimes I'll come in and I'll buy it. But definitely at Christmas, what I like about bookable VA, and when there's really good deals like 2 for 1s or like 3 for 2s, is that they normally do a separate deal sheet. Now, what I mean by that, you'll get an email, and it'll say bonus, Friday bonus, or Saturday, or whatever day it is, sheet, and it'll be exclusively for that website, which is one of the really, really good things that I like. So last year there was Tesco's Direct, loads of Legos on 3 for 2 or whatever it was, and at midnight, as soon as the deals on their website went live, from midnight a sheet was being updated by virtual assistants in the Philippines, which is who sort of runs this operation in terms of sourcing, and you could basically be up at midnight, like watching this sheet just get updated with all of the good stuff that you could buy, and it was just for Tesco Direct. And yeah, I mean, I spent loads of money, but I could have done it myself. I could have gone on like FBA Wizard, but then I would have to have done the scan, woken up, gone through the data. Then I would have to, and by then a lot of the stuff out of stock and all that, and that's what I like. For example, I could have just been like, no, but I don't want this because I want to save my money. But it's just, because I don't want to keep spending money on everything left, right, and centre, because obviously it gets expensive after a while. But for Q4, this is definitely, for me, it's definitely a good thing to have. And especially because of that sheet that I told you about, and obviously I don't know, you don't know when it's going to happen. The deals are plentiful at Q4, so but I'm pretty sure there's going to be sheets like that during Q4, and I'm going to be, that's almost its value in itself. And with this, if you buy bookable VA and you sign up, you get free suspension protection included, and that was what we talked about earlier. That costs you £24, and yes, it's £100, $99.99. So let's just say 1 sheet, because you don't need 2 like me. Some people have 4. It's just, but we're talking about, like, we want you to maximise your Q4, but I do feel that you would need a couple of avenues for sourcing. Obviously, is free, and you can see here, you might not like it. Some people will probably like it. Some people, it just depends on stuff like time. How much time do you have? If you really want, you can just do the good old copy and paste method. You could go onto Smith's and copy and paste every Smith's product in Amazon and do stuff like that. You can do that, and I sometimes, in certain categories, just do that. Not quite like that. I can go onto the website and do it like that. But I do certain things to sort of try to max more for my replenishables, like some copy and pasting. Just I can get the VA to do it, but one I've got is relatively new. Don't want to flood her with too much. So if I've got a bit of time here and now, I'll just do it only takes me about an hour the way I've done it. But I just add a couple of replenishables to my list, because actually, even though it's an hour, I've got it forever now, and I can find like 20 fresh replenishables every month. By the time that half a year's gone, I've got I'm all set. I don't worry about that. That's something from last year anyway. So for me, that's really important to get. But of course, if you're really are a beginner, possibly you only need something like a sourcing sheet or FBA wizard. You can also use tactical arbitrage. So I did not actually go on to that. Now, I should have actually talked about that. Tactical arbitrage is exactly the same. For the easiest way to say it, it's the easiest way to say that it's the same as FBA wizard. It basically you scan websites, but it's the data. I haven't used it for a long time, so it's hard. But the data on here is different. It's different algorithms to find the items, and you can find better products, but it's a little bit more. You got to tinker with it and stuff. So for me, it was a bit more hands-on than FBA wizard. And that's the reason I switched back to FBA wizard, because this was a little bit more tinkery. You had to come in and change some of the bits to sort of tweak to find the best stuff. And I actually found that it just was a bit more hands-on than I wanted it to be, so that's why I switched back. But it's no different in terms of what it does. It's about the same price. So yeah. Now, another thing I'm going to do is that you might want just to make sure I've covered everything. Yeah. Now, this is slightly more advanced. So we're going to, so what I'm going to talk about is more advanced. So what we're going to actually talk about here is the cost of all this. Now, this is actually £246.91. Is that right? And I would say you don't need both bookable VA and FBA. So let's say it's actually £100 cheaper than that. So it's between 146 and 246. That is basically roughly what that's cost. So depending on, and then obviously you've got your on top prep or supplies, I guess. So you could have, we could have plus prep. Oh, that's what I've done. So we're going to have supplies per month. Let's say you're going through in Q4. A box a day. Let's just go for it. This is for beginners. 1 box a day you're sending on average. We're sending about 28. Let's take out a couple a day. So 28 boxes. It's about £45 because even though you get only 20 boxes for 37, you can use the rest over on the next month. So we're just going to go for an average. Plus, so we've got £45 plus stationery and stuff, tape. Let's just say another £35 plus some poly bags and stuff. So we're going to get for £80 here. And now, if you wanted to send in, let's say sending in 500 items a month for beginners. Over Q4, you might be looking at about 450 to 450. As I say, that's about what the prep's going to be. It's probably going to be more like at least 500, to be quite honest. So you're looking at with prep, all in prep. Oh no, I did that slightly wrong, didn't I? Because that included that. Looking at that, and then all in without prep. And now when I say without prep, you see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the doing it yourself job, and basically the only cost on that is time, isn't it? I'm being stupid here on top. Oh yeah. No, I haven't really prepped. So basically that, I mean obviously if you wanted to then double up on like BVA and FBA wizards, which you can do, it would just be an extra £100, so it'd be that equals, so that's that, so it'd be like 7, 4, 3, 4, 6. Now, price wise, let's see what you need to do in sales to cover that. Probably £4,000 in sales. Should, yeah, so 4 grand in sales. 3.5, 4 grand. That's sales, obviously. And you can cover this. Now the great thing about what I think about Q4 is that you might think, oh god, but £746 is so much, like, it's, you know, but because you only have one lot of expenses per month, but you actually, so 1 month becomes like the equivalent of 4 to 5 months worth of sales, yeah, essentially. But you don't have to pay out 4 to 5. So you're getting in 4 to 5x income or money in the bank, but your outgoings stay fixed. So it's not 1 for 1. So if your expenses are normally, say, 30% of your total, so you get whatever you get back, it's 30%. It won't stay at 30% in Q4. It will go down to like 5%. So you make so much more money because you're actually the gap. Do you kind of know what I'm saying? Then the gap actually is more profit. Because you only have to pay, so you want to get that pound in and out as fast as you can, all that thousands or whatever, all that money in this. But within 1 month for one lot of outgoings, that's the easiest way I can sort of say it. So this is high, but in Q4, that actually is a lot lower. And same with this. So we're looking at that and that. Now, for me, if you're not, you don't have to obviously get all of these at once and go like, right, let's go, because a lot of these you can get free trials for, and you might want to add one and then work on it for a month and then add the next. But this is just a rough, you know, I mean, it could be anyone's guess, unless you're actually doing it brand new and you've got a brand new head on, you can sort of see what you want to do as you're doing it. It's very difficult to, from my view, to say that is what you would need, because you might be like, I definitely need that, or you might say I definitely don't need that. No, it's not required. But obviously, if you've got a prep centre, the cost of course it changes. But a lot of people that are doing this as a side income, you know, you could make £1,000, you could make £1,800 a month, and you're basically making an extra £1,000 on the side, and that is easy. £1,800 profit, but taking no salary is just, it's easy. I know it sounds, am I thinking what, you know, I'm saying it like that, but it is. It's you know, it's only when you start to take salaries and stuff that it you know goes down. So, but you could easily pay out that and make £1,000 at part time, like so you don't have to take any salary, and that you could just keep doing that for as long as you wanted, or you could do more. And obviously, if you're doing it at home and you wanted to make some actual money, then you can do it like that. But this is just a rough indicator. This is not financial advice, because, of course, this is just my perception and opinion on things. But it'd be interesting to see what everyone thinks for costs, because it's very difficult to remember what I even would have started out with, because all the stuff was different. We didn't have half the softwares and stuff that we have now, so I don't know. I think FBA Wizard is pretty much the only thing I started with, and the free Chrome extensions, and obviously buying stuff from Amazon like printer. So the last thing I'm going to touch is a virtual assistant. You might be thinking, what do you mean virtual assistant? I have a virtual assistant. They only work 1 day a week, and they do lots of behind the scenes work. Stuff like finding out if I can get reimbursements on sort of inventory and stuff, doing like reconciliations on shipments and stuff, like if you know the items are being booked in properly, and loads of other admin Excel things. Now the reason I do that, and I pay now about £29 every 2 weeks, so £60 a month for normally 4 days, 4 days a month, 4 to 5 days a month for £60 of work, especially every Monday. And it just leaves me more time to source products. And in Q4, that's literally what you want to do, because you'll be getting money back so fast that you want to be putting all your attention on just getting as much in and out as you can. There's nothing else you need to think about. And you literally come here, you can go, create an account, and you can post a job. And you literally just create your job as you want. And you can say Amazon specific, you can say e-commerce, you can say data, and you basically will get people apply. It does cost money, but you probably, within a month, you only have to pay for 1 month. It's like $60, 1 month sort of subscription, or whatever you want to call it, because you should be able to find someone within that month. And yeah, post your job, say what you want someone to be doing. Look, you'll get loads of people applying, and just look through their portfolios or CVs and pick a couple, have like a Skype interview with them, literally just text chat, get a feel for them, ask them some questions, just like you would, just like how you've probably been interviewed in the past in real life, just doing it virtually. And then they literally would use like a software like Slack or Facebook Messenger or whatever to communicate and send you all the detail every day. Basically, communicate that when they work, and yeah, get them to do tasks. And that way, you basically can do it for very, very cheap, because they're actually from Philippines. So their hourly rate in there is the style of life and everything is so much cheaper. So you can basically, you can get a virtual assistant, and you can even get professional accountants on here for £400 or £500 a month full time. Like if you wanted an accountant to do your accounting work, you're £500. Everyone around in this sort of space, online space, will go to the Philippines or India usually to get virtual assistants, just because you are able to get high-skilled workers for far less than what you would pay in this country, because obviously this country in the Western world is highly overpriced in every aspect of things. And you can basically build up a core business team, really, by doing stuff like that. And it's actually a really, really good way to save time, and it's cheap. And yeah, they're actually really good. They speak good English, they communicate well, they're polite, and I need to start implementing more virtual assistants next year. I probably was a bit slow to the party, wanted to hold on to as much as I wanted myself, but the most successful people outsource it as fast as they can, so they have more time to do other things. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. I basically finished. Now, everything I've ticked on here, I've spoke about, and I'm sure there are things that other people are going to notice and be like, why haven't I talked about that or that? And it is difficult to think what to do until you're doing it. Day to day. When you're doing it, it's hard to say thinking about it if you're not actually doing it. If you kind of get what I'm trying to say. And I did I've been doing notes all day for things that have been popping into my head to talk about, and there are loads of other things. I just didn't want to. This could be hours and hours long if I just try to write a million different things that I need to talk about. But I feel like I've sort of mentioned that the main topics, and a lot of the free things that I use, I haven't really said, because not even though really I should, I guess, but not because they're not important right now. For example, because the softwares and stuff that are basically the same things, but they're more professional. I use some just made up things that I've created, and they work okay, but they're not professional in what they are. So I'd rather bring reputable things that I've used. That yes, they do cost money, but some of them not that much, as as I showed. But at least they are 100% working and professional, not some made up thing that I've just said, yeah, do this, and it's not. It might not work for you. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, obviously we've still got how long have we got till Q4 now? About 10 days. Still, Q4 doesn't actually start till about, as I said, 22nd of October. So realistically, we still got a couple of weeks of videos that I can bring out to help complement your Q4, or maybe improve your Q4, or just help out in general. So let me know in the comments below, or on the Facebook group. I'll leave a link for the Facebook group as well. and I'm sure there'll be some comments or questions, and I'll probably post in the group what else do people want me to talk about in the coming videos, because I'm sure there's stuff that I've missed up, but I'm not going to carry on talking all day and just, yeah, you've probably fallen asleep halfway through this video. Hopefully not. I know it's an hour 25, but yeah, hopefully you've got at least like a handful of like things to go away with on this video. That's, you know, as long as there's one, I guess if there's just one thing you've learned or one thing you want to try or you're interested in, then that's good enough for me, and that's good enough for you, and I hope so. anyway, I'll leave it there. Have a great evening or morning, depending on when this actually gets uploaded in the end, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.